The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. From the heart of Broadway in historic downtown Cape Girardeau, this is Pro Wrestling Unscripted. It's January 6, 2019, and cocktails. Woo!
It's the 13th.
No, it's the 16th.
It is not the 13th.
But you said the 6th.
I said January 6th. I don't even know what I said.
It sounded like the 6th, but
Well,
then I
and
messed
then
up
you
too.
said and then you corrected him with the 13th.
Easy, Hollis. Get the date right. Get the date right for the show.
If we were playing Price is Right, I would have won.
Yeah, but the price is wrong, bitch.
Actually, you wouldn't have because he said the 16th.
Oh, he didn't. He said the 6th.
I said the most without going over.
You said that he would have gotten the bonus spin.
Yeah, but Allie bid $1. Asshole.
Coward.
No, that's Asa.
That's true. My name is Shannon Young, hosting tonight here on Pro Wrestling Unscripted. Down at the end of the table, we got Asa Gray, the 5-star man.
Yes.
Allie not actually wanting to have fun, A-Bear.
Hi.
And then the big D, Dalton Anthony.
Yo.
That response did not alleviate any of the concerns anyone might have had.
Her sassiness levels knows no bound, but she's not really sassy right now. She's
But
just kind of
now
dragging
she's
her
mean.
knuckles.
Now she's mean. Now it's sassy, but it's not directed at like someone who isn't us.
Yeah. It's like when it's directed as us, it's just mean. When it's someone else, it's so sassy, and I like it. Be sassy.
Don't be sassy.
Say cocktails.
Say the line, Bart.
Woohoo.
Say anything.
Hi.
God.
She did it. Mission accomplished, right?
All right. We're going to look for a new co-host here on the show.
That's nice.
I think Marnie
That's real
Gras
nice.
would be a good choice.
She hates me so much.
That's why she's the best choice.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this choice.
Yeah. So
She also hates you.
I tried to send her a message.
pretty sure she hates all of us.
I tried to send a message after the show to be like to smooth the waters, and I have not got heard back. So
Oh,
I
jeez.
I might die.
Oh, yeah. No. If ever there's a situation
So
where,
the-
like, I do that, and if we're playing around and they don't reply, I'm just like, oh, okay, they really hate me. They really despise me. They're using this as an excuse to say the things they've always wanted to say about me.
So if I'm not seen after the 26th, start with the Underworld,
Not the 23rd.
not the 23rd.
All right, we're talking about wrestling here tonight, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about, even though nothing major. Some big things.
It was a relatively quiet week.
I guess we're going to start off with something that Ace is excited about. We're going to start it off hot. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat 11.
So just real quick, not to derail you there, do you want to start with that, or did you want to start with the stuff that we were going to talk about last week but didn't get a chance to?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. Like, I'm thinking Priscilla Presley. Priscilla
Kelly?
Yeah.
Presley?
Priscilla Kelly.
Priscilla Kelly.
Priscilla Kelly.
Priscilla Kelly.
You did it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Priscilla Kelly. Period. Got it.
That was better than it should have been.
I don't know. So there was a spot. We meant to talk about this last week, but we ran long. God damn it, Dalton! Stop it.
There sure was.
There was a incident where Priscilla Kelly was wrestling. I don't know the promotion.
I don't.
Indie
remember.
Fed, the number one Fed in the country.
It was not an all ages show. This was a 21 and up show.
Yeah, it's adult only.
It was adult only. It was a no ring show, and I think it was at a bar.
What'd you say? No ring show?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were just fighting like in the crowd. I didn't know there was no ring. Jeez.
Yeah.
Might need to get Debbie
That's
on the
what-
phone. I hear
again,
she's a ring.
That might be something that that's something that I read as someone was talking about it, but I can't confirm that 100%, but I'm pretty sure it was.
I certainly did not see a ring. That is for sure.
Yeah, no, not in the.
But there was a spot. Do you remember who she was wrestling?
I don't remember.
That's Tuna. That's literally her name.
I just didn't hear you.
I thought the joke was
Tuna.
that she was giving
Okay.
her the tuna. I'm being dead serious.
Okay.
I'm being dead serious because of the incident and Tuna, hate this show.
Yeah, no,
So-
the wrestler's name was Tuna, though.
So apparently Priscilla Kelly was wrestling Tuna, and there was a spot where she pulled out and again, it's important to note, this is staged. She didn't actually pull out a real blood-covered tampon, or pad, I guess it was. Was it a pad or tampon?
I think it was. I think it was a tampon.
I thought it was a tampon.
Tampon.
Was it a tampon? She pulls out a blood-covered tampon, and I guess I never got to that part. Did she actually shove it in her mouth, or did she just like hit her with it, or what?
No, she put it in her mouth.
Okay. And I guess there are a lot of people that are upset about it, and there's a lot of people that are defending it. Because some people said that's disgusting, that's too much, that's over the line. There's a lot of people that said, hey, it's wrestling, anything goes. But there are such extreme reactions on both sides. Priscilla Kelly actually wrestled in the Mae Young Classic, didn't she?
The most recent one.
And there are always rumors that people that come out of that, those events are going to get signed. There are some people that said that this may hurt her chances at getting signed to WWE. I guess, where do you stand on this topic? And if you haven't seen the video, you can look it up. It's not hard to find. Where do you stand on the topic of, was it too much? Was it's wrestling? It's whatever. This is the same business where, depending on where you look, you've got 5-star classic mat matches or people wrestling Invisible Men and blow up dolls. So is a tampon spot really much further out of the way?
For me, I wasn't super I won't say entertained by it, but again, I wasn't there. I don't know the context of the match. I don't know the context of the event. It's not a thing that I was super thrilled to see, but I also but it's also not the most outlandish thing. And now, if it had been legit, I think that would that would change it.
That's too much.
And that's
yeah.
also, I feel
that's
a thing
a
that
sanity
people are,
concern.
I also think that's something that people are actively avoiding talking about when they want to shit on it.
Right.
Is that they are conveniently forgetting to mention that this was not a legit thing that happened.
Yeah.
It was a planned thing. It was, sanitary. It was
Staged.
whatever. Staged.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I don't think that's any worse than watching someone get Canadian destroyed through light tubes onto barbed wire. I am not a fan of and this is we talked about this last week when it first happened. I am not a fan of death matches.
Right.
That is a style of wrestling that I just don't personally enjoy. It kind of ties into, but for a completely different reason, the big surprise reveal at the end of NXT UK. I'm not a huge fan of. But again, but I also will never say that, because you have the people who hate death matches who will then say, they will just spout the utter nonsense of, oh, anyone who does death matches is a terrible wrestler. They don't know how to actually wrestle.
Garbage
They're
wrestlers.
not trained.
Yeah.
That is stupid, because it's like the Young Bucks say, wrestling is an art form. It's music. There are all sorts of types of music that I don't enjoy, but I can tell that the people doing it are talented. This is not a thing that I thought it was, for shock value and for that shock value in a match, it worked and cool. It was a unique visual. So
that's for sure.
So it was unique. I'm not a huge fan of it, but for people to say that she should not be in wrestling, or you have your washed up hack, so I won't even say his name, but should be boiled alive and soap made from her skin.
Was that who I think it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I get it. You need to stay relevant, so you need to be as over the top as possible, but stupid. I think the people who have that stuff telling her she embarrassed herself and she is ruining her career, I think those people are super out of touch and dumb.
I do too, because it's also, you say it's an art form, and it is. It's also acting. Mm-hmm. It's acting. And I was gonna say nobody went up to Leonardo DiCaprio after Django Unchained and said, "Oh, you're a racist and terrible person," but there probably were, because there's a lot of idiots in the world. Mm-hmm. But it's acting. It's a stage. Wrestling is a stage. It's a very unique stage that is unique only to wrestling.
Yeah, and it is the only type of. It's the weirdest thing. Wrestling is friggin' weird.
Wrestling
man.
is weird. But there's plenty of room for weirdness. Now, me personally, and I'm going to get to Allie here in a second because I want to hear her opinion. Me personally, I wasn't entertained by it. I am an old school wrestling fan, But when I say old school wrestling fan, I mean Papa Shango. There were voodoo people and barbers and stuff when I grew up watching wrestling.
Undertaker.
Yeah,
He's
Undertaker
an undead
still.
wizard.
And I wasn't offended by those things. And I'm not offended by this, but I didn't find it entertaining. But what I found to be entertaining, other people don't. So it's whatever, man. If you like it, you liked it. If not, you didn't. There's no reason to shit all over this person. And I find funny that person that you said, and I don't think you said his name.
No.
And I won't say his name either out of, respect for the cause. But there are a lot of things that I do agree with that person with. And sometimes I feel bad about agreeing with him, because then he goes on a tangent like that, and there are so many tangents he goes on. I don't think he can have a conversation about anything without trying to sound so edgy and cursing up a storm, because that's what makes him cool. Mm-hmm. And whenever you make a good point about something, but then you wrap it around that bullshit, it makes it hard to listen to you and to agree with you, and completely wrong on this, and should be ashamed of himself for saying it. But at the same time, if I was at that wrestling show and that spot happened and the crowd popped for it, I would be the one going like, why did we pop for that?
Right. Really? You're going to cheer for that?
You're going to cheer for a tampon spot. Okay. Allie, what do you think about it?
Pretty much the same thing that you guys do. I probably wouldn't have been at that show in the first place. To be honest.
If we did, it was only because of a Big Lee begged us to come to it.
I'm not a fan of it, but it was part of a show. And it was part of a show that was meant for a 21 and up crowd.
Who would probably find that entertaining.
So
I don't.
Yeah, this would be a whole other conversation if this happened at like CCW.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We throw them under the bus.
Yeah.
Like we work for them and we still throw them under the bus because that's just insane.
Mm-hmm.
You don't advertise as family friendly and then do that. I'm also not a fan of Tom Green movies. At all. I never found Tom Green to be entertaining in any way. But Tom Green was also insanely popular. Do you remember that song he had out? My bums on your lips or whatever?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a #1 song on TRL in the day. And I remember watching...
Amazing cross promotion.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is popular? This is trash. I've grown up a little bit since then, and I don't say things are trash now, but my point remains. Like, I don't understand it. Dalton, what do you think?
I liked it. We were at a 21 plus show last year, and
You say we. You're talking about you and Asa?
me and Asa,
Okay.
yeah, and they did a double condom Sacco spot, which I
Okay.
where like
Was Pancakes and Pile Drivers 21 and up?
it better fucking have been. They were yelling "fuck Ohio" the entire time, and then
Well,
you had Teddy Hart calling Penta a spick.
You have Teddy Hart being Teddy Hart. I think there's a difference between a not family friendly there's an 18 and up and a 21 and up.
Okay, it was an 18 and up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
It's like
yeah.
I didn't
Think of it
that
like
was-
movies.
Yeah.
You know, like 18 and up, you
This would have
cuss,
been
whatever.
this would have been an X-rated movie.
Right.
Yeah. So like we were in that, and they, Joey Ryan and Session Moss Martina both pulled out.
Yeah.
They did that, and I was like, I think it was right after Stride is whenever I found out about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in IHOP getting food, and I was like, Priscilla Kelly pulled a tampon out and put it in Tuna's mouth, and I just started giggling. Because for one, that's just an empirically funny sentence. Like you read that after
That's
like,
one of those
wrestling,
headlines
that's
you
hilarious.
can't believe that you actually read that headline.
And then I watched it and I was like, I mean, the crowd liked it. That's the whole thing. Like, it didn't. I am not offended by it at all. And like, I'm like, oh, that's new and innovative. Good job. You cracked the code.
And I don't think anyone here is offended.
Tommy
surprisingly.
Dreamer had the best take on it. No, I get it. It's your generation's Mr. Sacco. It's Mrs. Stinkflow. It's like, ugh.
All right, there are times though where I feel like Hank Hill. And you
It's
guys,
just toilet sounds.
yeah, I'm just going to leave the building when you guys start talking about it.
But yeah, I mean, good on her. She got a lot of. I think she said she went from like 9,000 to 13,000 followers.
Oh yeah, no,
in a night.
it legit went viral.
Yeah, like good for her.
Love it or hate it, she got the most
'Cause-
attention she's gotten arguably since the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, because it's also one of those like, what was the last wrestler that got this much attention for something negative that quote unquote was killing the business?
Young Bucks.
Joey Ryan.
Oh yeah. Too.
No, you said what you would about the Young Bucks. They're not doing dick humor. Like they're not. That's not a part of their matches. Like that's very much a Joey Ryan thing. And she had the greatest tweet, which was just like, "Oh, dicks are funny, vaginas are disgusting and appalling." #equality ?
Yeah. Because even like Joey Ryan even said like he wasn't a huge like he wouldn't say that he supported the spot, but he absolutely has her back in her doing it.
Which, by the way, to be fair, I don't like Joey Ryan's thing.
And no,
You
and
know?
I'm not saying like,
But I do think Joey Ryan's incredibly talented and incredibly nice. We met him a couple years ago.
Well, and even that like I still remember the tweet that I read to you that kind of shook you a little bit of nothing that I do in the ring is less believable than an Irish whip.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Do you think that there should be anything in wrestling that is off limits?
I mean,
because not that this is opening the floodgates
Right.
for like all crazy shit.
I mean,
but we are marching closer and closer to that. Just like anything goes in wrestling.
I think that this is less. I genuinely think that what she did is she did not cross any lines, other than maybe kind of pointing out that inequality of.
Oh, Joey Ryan's cool, but
of women versus men and what how their bodies work versus how men's bodies work. Like
right.
on that front, she definitely probably crossed some lines. But like I said, for me personally, doing a staged fake blood tampon is way, way, way farther from the line than having Swerve be actively cut open with a hacksaw.
Yeah.
Like seeing shoulder meat. Like,
Jeez.
that is way, like, so for me, like, I don't think this is even that special.
It's not, because
it's because when you look at some of the like legit insane deathmatch stuff, which again, like I said, I'm not trying to like trash it or because
Right.
again, like there are very, very talented people who do that. Like Cash Borden, I would love to see him because he truly treats it like an art form.
yeah.
I would love to see Cash do a deathmatch, but it's just that thing in my brain that like that disconnect of like, man, I just don't enjoy that style.
Yeah.
Even though, but I know, but like having seen him at Stride, how just talented of
Great
a
wrestler.
Yeah.
Cash is.
And he's great. Like, same thing with Mathis. Mathis has done death matches before.
Oh yeah,
Mathis is
a-
David Arquette.
I mean,
he did the one.
I've never wrestled Arquette, so like, I mean, I'm assuming like.
Swoggle is going to wrestle Nick Gage. Or was it
Yep.
Nick Cage? I forget.
Nick
No,
Gage.
it's definitely not Nick Cage. Nick Gage. And it's not even the most tasteless thing that like mainstream wrestling, quote unquote, has done more tasteless things. The bar, I think, the pinnacle of wrestling tastelessness, I think, is still Katie Vick. Because it was not funny.
Oh, yeah.
It was disgusting. It was offensive.
Oh, I was
like,
gonna say the miscarriage that Terry Reynolds had.
that was also very stupid.
Yeah, see,
The
and
hand
And the
that Mae
miscarriage
Young
and the
gave birth
miscarriage
to.
that Lita did.
Yep.
Or if
Well,
you
that
want to
wasn't
get like,
Stacey's fault.
if you want to get like really bad with it, the Iraqi sympathizer, Sergeant Slaughter,
Well, and-
at a time when people were like dying in Iraq, or Rusev, pro-Russian, when Russia was clearly like. Anytime they take these headlines and these real events and turn them into a storyline like that affect people, like people actually die because of these things, and you're turning it into a joke, basically, to me, is way worse than a girl takes a fake tampon and shoves it in someone's mouth.
Yeah, and that's one of the, when you say like is anything off limits, like we've had that conversation.
We have.
and most of the things that we've come up with are storyline.
Yeah.
Because just wrestling as a medium has not really found a great way to
It's
handle
it's
very
exploitive.
like not overly sensitive, but like super sensitive topics.
Yeah, because
So.
whenever wrestling tries to tackle something serious, they exploit it. Iraqi sympathizer, Russia, Rusev, all that stuff. It's never helping anything, and it's probably does it draw? If you listen to them in the 80s, especially Sergeant Slaughter as the Iraqi sympathizer drew tons, and he was the biggest bad guy in the world because of it. But it's also cheap. Like it's so cheap.
Well, and it's that thing of like, so if it does the fact that it draws make it less bad?
if
or
it
is
makes
it-
money, yeah.
If like is that worse?
Do
Or
the
it
ends
doesn't,
justify the means?
Yeah.
You know? It's a sensitive topic, but in this particular case, in the court of Podzilla, I find Priscilla Kelly to be not guilty of offending the wrestling community. And I sentence everyone that's like trying to actively fucking bully her to
Get a life.
Stop.
Find a new topic.
Yes. And that's exactly what we're going to do here on Podzilla 1985. Let's segue right into that. We'll save Mortal Kombat for later because that'll be our go home. That's the hot story.
I'm fine with that.
Hulk Hogan and the Mean Gene tribute from Raw. You put this on the list, and I didn't know if there was something in particular you had to say about it, or if you were just curious about what everyone's thoughts.
I mean, mostly I wanted you to be able to talk about it because I know how much Mean Gene means to you, and I know how much
did.
Hogan means to you. So that like
Yes.
it was that because for me personally, like Dalton, whenever that announcement was made, was it the day before? On Sunday, like were we heard on Sunday? Because we were talking about it, and we were both like, okay, it makes sense to have this be the thing that brings Hogan back, but both of us were kind of dreading hearing that get turned into Hogan talking about himself.
right.
Because if there's one thing Hogan's great at, it's taking a
Self-promotion.
topic
Yeah.
and twisting it to where he can talk about himself. Thankfully, I was wrong. Like, we were both wrong about that happening. Like,
Yeah.
it ended up being a very touching, very legitimate, like, genuine. It's the most genuine we've seen Hulk Hogan, I think, ever.
And I think the reason is because, and we said it before, Hulk Hogan's not a monster. Like, a lot of people make him out to be one. And I truly believe he's not a monster. He's a human being. He's flawed. Everyone's flawed. Are Hogan's flaws greater in some aspects? I truly believe so. But he's still a human being. That being said, Mean Gene Okerlund was truly his friend.
Right.
This was not a case of, oh, hey, an 80s guy died. Can we get Hogan to come on and talk about him?
Yeah.
They were truly friends. You can go back and watch all those old WrestleManias, all the SummerSlams. Anytime Hogan and Okerlund were together, I think I said Hokerlund. Anytime Hogan and Okerlund were together, like you could tell that they were truly friends. And even though I wasn't truly happy with the segment because I thought Hogan was a little too Hogan, because to me, and this is going to sound bad, and I don't mean for it to sound bad, but to me, when I think of touching tributes, nothing will ever get the image of Mark Henry crying out of my head when Owen Hart passed away, when Eddie passed away, Chris Benoit, say what you will about the man. So for me, those are like the most touching tributes that I can remember in professional wrestling. What Hogan did was perfectly fine, and he celebrated the life of Mean Gene, but there was still a lot of Hogan in him, and he actively admitted this is what Mean Gene would have wanted the show to go on, and I believe he's right on that. So I thought it was a fine segment. I don't think Hogan needs to come back at all, unless it's in some kind of ambassador role to other places, but not on TV. And I truly loved 1980 Hulk Hogan.
Right.
That is not the Hogan we have now. And I'm sorry, Slammer. I don't know if you're listening to this or not, but I would love to meet Hogan, but I truly think at this point I'm done with him as a performer.
No, it's okay. Slammer flex on him.
And floss on him.
And floss on him.
And then sell him a shirt.
Yeah.
What did you think of it, Dalton?
I mean, it was harmless.
It was there.
Yeah, like it was.
Yeah.
It was good. Really, Hogan's the only person I can think to bring in to do that,
other than Ric Flair. But Hogan edged him out because
I mean,
Hogan and Okerlund were so connected.
Yeah, like there's a reason. Like whenever I started CCW, like Brandon called me his Okerlund because like I was always doing his
right,
and that was the same thing with Hogan. Like it was always him. It was him in WWF. It was him in WCW. So for like 20 years, it was that combination.
It scares me to think that at some point you really have to start looking at their ages and what they did for so long that at some point, probably in the next couple of years, Hulk Hogan will probably die. Ric Flair will probably die. And
I mean, they definitely will. Maybe not in the next few years, but at some point.
Yeah. But
Ric Flair might be questionable.
Ric Flair may already be dead.
That video was looking like Weekend at Bernie's.
He may have died a while back, and they've like found out how to keep him like zombified with
just no one's told him
with alcohol and alimony.
Death shows
payments.
up and he's like, "Now you're cool."
Yeah. But we're gonna face the reality that like all those legends of the '80s and stuff, they truly are dying out.
Well, even now, like when you go back and watch some of the older like WrestleMania stuff,
you can pick out how many of them are still alive.
Right.
Yeah, and it's
sad.
Truly sad. And one thing that I'm so thankful for wrestling today, more than anything, is that aside from the freak injuries that happen when these guys, because they do go harder than anyone's ever gone before.
Yep.
But we are so much, and we've said it before, we're so much smarter when it comes to mental health, when it comes to physical health, when it comes to concussions and stuff like that. Yeah, because the 80s, man, that was the Wild Wild West if you listen to the wrestlers talk, doing cocaine and five women a night.
Even listening to people like Big Show and Chris Jericho, and like even like Jericho kind of almost sounds not disappointed, but like, man, WCW when he was there and like the Attitude Era, that was a party.
Yeah.
You go backstage, like every night you're going to the bars, you're getting drunk, you're partying, like all that. And he's like, now you go back and everybody, like, you go backstage and everyone's playing PlayStation. Everyone just kind of goes to their hotel rooms and plays video games. And
I very much read another, I want to say it was a Road Warrior Animal, but I don't think it was, and I don't want to attribute to him if it's wrong, but it was definitely an older wrestler that was talking like, yeah, the wrestlers today, a bunch of pussies, like we used to go hang out, drink, and go
get
bang
fights,
bang chicks. These guys now, they just go to the rooms and play video games all night. And like, yeah, and they're also hopefully going to live to see 80 and have a good career, But anyway, Allie, what did you think?
I mean,
I'm going to put you on the spot every time.
I thought it was nice. I know you say whenever you talk about it, but you had to turn it off.
Oh, no, that's because I am a pussy. Anything that deals with death or loss, I don't know how many movies we've seen recently in theaters. Even Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse. Like, I was teared up for a good part of it.
I mean, literally everyone who saw that movie.
Yeah, but there are weird ones. I think I teared up during The Grinch. I know I teared up during The Grinch, the new one.
Did you tear up for the trailer for Bella's Long Walk Home or whatever, the dog movie?
No, because wasn't that the movie? The trailer?
This is the trailer.
By the way, teaser trailer for Ghostbusters is out. And I did tear up during that.
Coward.
To be fair, I teared up during the last one too. I'm glad Hunter doesn't listen to the show. He Crucify me. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Flip Gordon, Chris Sabin, both injured. I did see the Chris Sabin one, and I think Caleb Carter posted the Flip Gordon, but I didn't read the story at it. How severe are we talking?
So because it's one of them is an ACL, one of them is an MCL, and I have it written down on my phone here. So just give me 1 second for Google Docs to load. So Chris Sabin has a torn ACL, so he is out for the foreseeable future.
Oh, that sucks. Hail Sabin.
Hail Sabin. Flip Gordon thankfully seems to have a sprained MCL. He will be out for a minimum of 4 weeks, but all things considered, that is not
The worst.
that's not a terrible injury. Hopefully, it is as minor as they think it is, and that time off will be enough time, and he's not going to come back and still not be at 100%, where he then runs a greater risk of a very much more serious injury.
Right. Yeah, that really sucks for them. Flip Gordon also incredibly nice.
Mm-hmm.
We met him a while back, although Allie was not a fan of him because he did not hit on her. He hit on Mandy, and she got.
Oh,
she's giving me the face. She's giving me the face. Can we edit that part out? Can I edit that part out?
I mean, you can.
Allie.
Yeah, we can't.
Ooh, let's move on.
Alan.
No, don't mess with her right now, please. You're gonna make things worse. Oh, she looks so angry.
I was kicking her foot
legitimately.
during that, too.
Please don't.
Try to poke the
Please
bear so
stop.
she yells at you.
Don't poke the A bear. Like, I think we've said it before. Like, I'm by far the largest and scariest member of the podcast, I'd say, and yet I am terrified like a kitten at Allie when she gets angry. She's not smiling still.
Not even
Holy
a little
shit! Whatever you did really bothered her. Let's move on.
Allie, what did you say on the Thursday show?
Shere Khan is going to be the head of creative for AEW.
It's not his name. It's not his name a little bit.
Did you say Shere Khan?
When I see Khan, I think of two things: Shere Khan and
Do you mean Shaka Khan?
no Shere Khan from Jungle Book.
Shao Khan?
Shere Khan. Oh, I forgot about Shao Khan. Shao Khan? Shere Khan? What if
Kotal Khan.
in the One Winged Angel song in Final Fantasy VII, where they go Sephiroth, they're not saying Sephiroth. They're saying Seth Rollins.
No, they didn't yell
That's
burn it down
She
before.
she laughed though. She laughed a little bit.
That's some long-term booking.
Alan.
I don't remember what you said. I just remember the Khan tangent.
Khan. I don't know his actual first name. He's gonna be the head of creative. So sorry. The reason I laughed is because I'm on my Facebook page, because we have the message up, and I guess maybe it's just it keeps playing CCW Live that you guys recorded earlier, and I can see it out of the corner, and it's just that part where Roy was right in the camera, so all I saw was that big turtle's face looking at me. Allie, you want to smile at that one? Holy shit, Dalton, you screwed up. So Asa, I know you were kind of worried about this.
So yeah, I am not a huge fan of, because it was the whole because originally it kind of sounded like they were going to be more hands off and just kind of let Cody and the Bucks really run the show.
Yeah.
Right.
But now this is kind of confirming that Khan is going to be the Vince McMahon of AEW. So there will be other people, which Cody has come out and said that there won't be writers. There's not going to be that level of micromanagement. So that kind of inspires a little bit of hope, I think. But the idea that everything if it's true, because this is all still kind of speculation, if it's true that everything has to go through Khan, is a little, because then it's okay, well, yes, he is a lifelong wrestling fan, yes, he's written into the Observer, he's done, he knows his stuff, but that would be if we all of a sudden were just given open reign to write CCW.
I don't think I want to at this
No, yeah,
point.
that would be that would
I
be.
dream at one point till we see what they have to go through. No, I'm good.
Yeah, no, so, yeah, seeing everything that Jason goes through,
Yeah.
doing that and even Heath, it's just oh no, yeah, I don't want to be in charge of a promotion. That seems like a nightmare. I would love to be the silent billionaire backer.
They just throw some money.
Yeah, and every once in a while just be hey, I like him. Do cool stuff with him.
One thing I found out in wrestling, and this, I don't know if anyone's gonna get offended by this, but I'm not gonna name names because it's not all the time, but wrestlers are so sensitive. They are so ego driven and sensitive that there's no way I could write a show where I have to tell one of them, hey, you're gonna beat this one up, and then that one go, well, why? Why is he gonna beat me up?
A guy like me shouldn't lose to a guy like him.
Right.
A guy that looks like me
Do
shouldn't
you
lose to a
see
guy that
what
looks
he
like
looks
him.
like? Yeah, no, F that. But I agree with you. I don't think this is going to have a huge impact on it because I really don't think this guy's going to go in dick swinging, saying this is what I want.
Dick swinging.
I think he's going to play it by Cody and the Bucks. Now he could get drunk with power. That's always a possibility, but hopefully we'll avoid that.
The first time he shows up as like an on-air authority figure thing, that's one of them red flags that you talk about.
Everyone tries to emulate Vince McMahon in the 90s. Vince did his thing with Austin, and I think it made literally $72.8 cajillion dollars. So then, I always thought Eric Bischoff did a better job at it. I truly did. Like Austin, I had the McMahon thing, and that was great. But Eric Bischoff as the head of the NWO, I thought he was a better heel than Vince McMahon. Because he was that slimy, like I wanted to see Eric Bischoff get his face knocked off. Whereas Vince McMahon, I don't know, he was almost comical in a way, like because they oversold it so much. Him and Briscoe and Patterson, where they're training him and that stuff. I thought Bischoff was way more effective as a heel, and I'm probably wrong. And I'm sure there are wrestlers that are going to tell me how wrong I am. That's just my opinion.
I don't remember enough about Bischoff specifically in the NWO because I remember there being kind of because it was
smile when he would come.
He absolutely had the look and like always had that like shit-eating grin and was just super smarmy. But like, because I always like him. And then there was Russo, and then there were always there was always some non-wrestler authority involved in the NWO.
Yeah.
And even like just WCW in general, that I was more of a WWF fan. Like I would watch for the cruiserweight stuff, but like I haven't gone back and rewatched a lot of WCW, so my history on that is phasey. So a lot of that stuff kind of runs together. Even like some of the Kevin Sullivan stuff, I'm like, no, that wasn't Bischoff, that was Kevin Sullivan. Like just stuff like that.
Right. Think about
and
this.
And Jimmy Hart too, like any sort of manager.
Mouth of the South?
Yeah, I just because I'm an idiot.
Think about this. Eric Bischoff, I believe, and I could be wrong. Dalton, you're going to correct me if I'm wrong because you're going to know this better than me.
Okay.
I think Eric Bischoff is the only general manager for Raw or for WWE or WCW that never held a title.
That's not even a
Baron
little bit
Corbin.
true. Teddy Long.
But Teddy Long was never a champion? No, I guess he was a ref first, wasn't he?
There's a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a manager. He was a manager and then ref, and then no, was he ref? Did he manage before he became a ref?
I thought he reffed.
Outside of WWE.
He reffed and then managed because that's how it used to work.
Yeah.
Okay, of significance. No, that's unfair because Teddy Long was really good. Yeah, no, I throw my point out.
Vicky Guerrero.
It's just one of those things. Like
I thought Vicky was women's champ at one point.
Shit, she was.
Yeah.
I do think she won that at some point.
Because like when you said Baron Corbin, my
Dixie
theory was
Carter.
On. Well, I don't even count TNA. I know that's unfair.
Well, he said in fairness, he said WCW.
Oh,
WWE.
Because what I mean by like that is that like Teddy Long never wrote the show, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Vicky Guerrero never wrote the show, but who did write the show? The McMahons, Vince
Bischoff,
Russo, and Bischoff. Vince Russo, WCW World Champion.
Mm-hmm.
As stupid as that was, every McMahon except for maybe Linda has been champion.
Shane.
Has Shane never been any champion? Was he IC champion?
No, yeah,
European
hardcore.
Yeah. Eric Bischoff's the only one that had the book and never put the title on himself at all. You know? So, I don't know. I don't really have a point with it. I just thought that was interesting. Because the first time we see Khan on creative and he's like, not only is he like manager, but then he actually gets involved with like feuds and stuff, that's when you can throw the towel in and go, oh, we're going to make the same mistakes again. Money talks. All right. Speaking of money, WWE just signed a big name, Trevor Lee.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
Do you know what his indie gimmick was for a while?
Wife beater.
No.
No, that was Chris Hero.
Was that really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was one of them.
God, I remember Wife Beater. That was what a stupid gimmick.
This was mostly in PWG, and it got him so hated. Impact Wrestling superstar Trevor Lee.
Mm-hmm. I think he used that at the Pancakes and Pile Drivers too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
because he just made it because he was on a TV. He was on TV, so he was better than everybody there, and it worked. Trevor Lee's amazing. I'm a huge fan
really
of him. That's another one that I'm surprised Impact didn't do more with, even though he was a former tag team champion and X Division champion, I think.
We just watched a video, I think it was Cultaholic, but it may have been What Culture, that talked about like 10 people last night, 10 people you didn't know were in like Impact. And there were a lot of surprising names. Like Trevor Lee was one of them, I think.
No, I don't think Trevor Lee was.
Or he was a part of a group with one of them.
Yeah.
It was somebody.
Yeah, no, because it was like Nakamura. It was all the New Japan guys was on it.
Okay, I'm excited to see him go to NXT. If they kind of let him off the leash a little bit promo wise, I think that'll be really, really good.
That's a big sign.
He's also just crazy athletic. Also, real quick, I don't know what your next story is, but this is from earlier today that I missed. via PW Insider, they are confirming that former WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Bludgeon Brothers, have been cleared to return to WWE action and will be back on the road possibly as soon as this Tuesday's SmackDown taping.
Yeah, because apparently they saw what Rowan was at the
Performance
Center. Yeah. So, and what's really odd about that is we literally just talked about Bludgeon Brothers on Saturday on the way to Charleston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's like, why aren't they doing anything with Luke Harper other than, I guess, like, oh, well, they're going all in with the Bludgeon Brothers, so.
I hope they change the outfit. It's the only thing I didn't like about them. I was going to talk about, it looked like very Kane-like.
I don't, I'm with you there. I also just wish that they would have just stuck with the Reapers.
I am so excited for those elites.
The Bludgeons.
Are they actually being made, or are you just?
They're already out.
Okay. Oh, are they?
I just haven't found them yet.
Okay.
Oh, the next elite one. I'm sorry for this one. Rey Mysterio in WCW again, but he's wearing the full purple and black bodysuit. Gonna buy that.
Like the Phantom one?
The sold out one? Or not sold out, Halloween Havoc?
I think so.
That's a pretty sweet one. I like that one.
I love purple. There's just something about it that just looks kind of goofy.
But also Shayna Baszler, Cedric Alexander, and I'm missing a big one that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Can't be that big.
Velveteen Dream.
That's kind of.
Oh, it's the NXT wave.
It's an elite wave. Like it's an actual elite wave.
Right, but isn't it a special like NXT wave because all of those people are other than Cedric Alexander?
And Randy Orton's in it too.
Okay, there you
He
go.
definitely wasn't.
Yeah, no, it's a normal one because the next one, there are 2 NXT waves coming out, but it's not those.
I was going to mention 205 Live. 205 is.
Speaking of Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, 205 Live returning to live on Tuesday nights before or after SmackDown? Before.
After SmackDown.
Oh, after? Oh.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah. I don't. There are decisions behind it, clearly. Like they know what they're doing. But again, I guess it might be because they are touring with SmackDown and Raw, SmackDown. Well, I mean, Drake Maverick and Leo Rush are doing
Both.
Raw and SmackDown. Whew.
Yeah.
But just, man, put that at Full Sail. And do like a rock block, a 2-hour block on Wednesday nights of NXT and 205 Live.
Yeah. The crowd would go nuts. Because that's the kind of crowd that loves that.
It would be the crowd that it deserves, as opposed to Wesley Blake and Carrillo, Humberto.
Oh, the new guy.
Yeah, the guy who answered the open challenge and they had a great match on Tuesday,
really
and the
good.
crowd chanted "boring" at him.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Like, just they deserve. When you look at
wrestling
look at like Mustafa Ali. Like Mustafa, yes, he is a standout on 205 Live, but like look at what he's doing on SmackDown. These are all guys that are so talented and so versatile that you could do something truly meaningful with. But it's presented in such a way that the crowd doesn't have a lot of incentive to really get behind anybody.
It's an add-on. Like it's not a main course.
Exactly.
You know?
And it very much is its own meal.
Yeah, if they played it right, it could be another brand.
Yeah.
Am I making you hungry? Talking about food?
You know what's making me hungry? Being hungry. That is a pre-existing condition.
Does this shirt make me look fat? No, your face does.
Why?
I miss Chris Farley. I think it's a stupid move. Those guys are doing such good work over there, and then the crowd reactions are great. And now they're just going to go back to getting buried.
There was something I was going to talk to you about because we watched the holy crap moments earlier. Did you see from 205 Live 2 weeks ago, or last week, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, Hideo Itami versus Cedric Alexander, and Itami hit. They started on the apron. And Itami hits the Falcon Arrow to the outside.
Oh,
yeah!
A big old bowl of F that is what I think is my way to say that.
Yeah, that was.
And you're gonna bust that out in your match against Justin Smart, I understand.
Well, yeah, he's gonna do it to Justin.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Onto that basketball court floor.
Dalton, what do you think about 205 Live going back Tuesday? Bad move or does it matter?
I watch it after the fact anyway. Like,
does the crowd reaction take you out of it when you watch wrestling? Or does it not matter what the crowd thinks? You enjoy it?
No, I mean, it's one of those. It depends on what it is, because like I can't watch Rock versus Hogan at WrestleMania X8 without sound.
No,
because you need that.
Yeah,
that
the match needs sound.
Yeah,
but I can watch 205 Live without sound, like because there's sometimes where I'm at work that I'm like not as at work as I should be, and I can watch wrestling. And like be like, all right, cool, like that's on in the background, and I don't need the sound. Turn over, see what's going on. Like that's how I watch Crown Jewel for the most part, and thankfully that's how I watch Crown Jewel because like if I would have had to pay attention to that, but
Saudi money.
Yeah, no, like some wrestling I can watch without sound. Others I need like. Mauro Ranallo makes a lot of things on NXT better than what it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
think
that
Nigel-
man's an asset.
Oh yeah, no, like and Nigel McGuinness as well. Like those two are so good. Those are just the ones I'm going to right now. Just being like, no, their commentary actively helps.
But what about the crowd? Do you think you could take a crowd out of a match and it not matter? Like let's say customs wrestling. And I know this is a weird jump.
No, you don't even have to do customs. Rock versus Mankind in the
halftime
arena match.
yeah, that was a good match. It didn't need a crowd.
See, but that
was
Japanese
a spectacle match.
Japanese wrestling is almost like wrestling without a crowd.
that's what I was going to bring up because even the like empty arena match it was played specifically because of the fact that that it was an empty arena, whereas the Japanese crowd is traditionally much more reserved and much quieter.
Unless
Respectful.
Okada
though.
takes those pants off.
Well, yeah. What are you supposed to do?
Say hi to Juan Pedro.
See them thighs. Swim to me, Juan Pedro.
Swim to me, Okada.
But yeah, no, like the crowd reaction doesn't act, like. Granted, the second they start chanting boring, like. No, I take that back. The crowd has effed over a lot of matches, in my opinion. The two that are coming to my mind right now are Seth Rollins versus
Finn Balor.
That was the other one.
Oh, are they both Seth Rollins?
Both Seth Rollins. Well, he said the other one, the Iron Man match against Ziggler. My words aren't coming out well today.
Yeah, okay.
Where they were actively shitting on it.
Yep.
And then the first Universal.
Because they were so obsessed with the Red Championship. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I know the crowds can
Ignorant.
mess up a match for me.
Absolutely.
I should only watch those matches without sound.
I 100% hate the boring chant. I hate it so much. And like I get it.
During
you
a
paid your
match.
money.
Like, I will give it to you, like, because I mean, yeah, you're in a crowd, you can chant whatever you want as long as you know you're not being obscene, depending on what show you're at. But like, even if you don't enjoy the match, like, there's ways that you can convey that without being shitty.
Right.
But like, and if it's like the this is your the Alexa Bliss Bailey, this is your life segment. Like,
Yeah, you can shit on that.
Yeah, like
No,
I mean,
I don't agree with that.
even
Because
and I don't mean shit on it, but like a perfect example is do you remember years ago the Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump match?
Oh, yeah.
That Vince was ringside for and heard the crowd crap on all 10 minutes, because there is, at a certain point, you have your intelligence insulted as an audience.
Yeah.
You paid to see a show,
Right.
and when that level of dreck is brought out in front of you, I think you have a right to voice your opinion on that.
Yeah.
But I feel bad about it because, like, my argument for not doing it during a wrestling match is, you've got guys in there who are working and
Who are actively risking their lives.
right, who don't deserve to be like shit on because they're trying to entertain you. But to be fair, even the people that were in that awful Rosie O'Donnell segment, not Vince because it's Vince's fault, but the people that are in the ring who are basically told, here is your script.
This is what you have to do.
Go do it. And you're shitting on them too. And it makes me feel bad because
See,
like I don't think they deserve it.
I don't even think it's a.
Told you I'm a pussy. I'm getting too soft.
Yeah, no, like, because, like, Ace Steel didn't care that the crowd was actively shitting on that match. He knew what he was getting into that night. That's the guy that dressed up as Donald Trump. Like, he knew, like, he was aware. I'm willing to say he knew, like, this is going to get shit on. If I'm wrestling a match, and this is just the way I was taught, that if I hear a boring chant, the next thing I'm doing is going home. Like, I'm just going to finish the match.
Right.
Like, we're going to.
Well, because you lost the crowd.
Yeah, the
unless
crowd's
you can
lost-
win them back.
And you can't. Like, that's the thing. Like, you.
You can. Like, there
That match couldn't.
well, no, that one.
Some people can.
Right.
Where I'm at right now, barring me breaking my neck, I can't.
I mean, that'd win him back. Do it, you coward.
It's that Looney Tunes bit where Donald Duck's
I
trying
can
to
only do it
upstage.
once.
Bugs Bunny.
Also, that would be Daffy Duck,
Who did I say?
Donald Duck.
Oh fuck me! Like that's
I'm
just a
good,
bad
dog.
era.
But
That's a
yeah, no,
bad
like,
era.
that's how I was kind of like, yeah, no, if they are chanting boring, you should just go. But it's also one of those on WWE, you can't do that because it's not a
Because you're going to go through the curtain and...
Vince.
And
yeah,
you got TV time.
Yeah,
this
no,
is the amount that
it's,
you gotta
yeah,
go.
and it's one of those, like, it's not like an indie show where, like, yeah, if somebody goes long, I can cut my match a little bit. It's, you have 10 minutes, including entrances. Go.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they have to
Do
do.
what we told you to do.
Yeah, do it
regardless of what the
which,
crowd
like, that's
does.
all wrestling, but at the same time, like, where we're at, there's some leeway there.
Right.
Like, some people might be upset about, like, times or whatever, but it's not millions of dollars on the line that
Right.
month.
And where do you draw the line? Because there's also movies, music. Like, there's terrible movies. I hate some movies. But, like, do you shit? It's like,
Have you ever walked out of a theater on a movie?
no. No, I haven't.
Oh, I mean, I'm just asking. Like that would, because that's the equivalent. Like that's the
And
only,
I
like,
should be able to. I
nobody's
shouldn't
gonna
feel bad about it.
Nobody's gonna chant boring at a movie.
No, but like say like David Cross. I was critical of him years ago, but I think he's apologized since about when he would talk about the Chipmunk sequels and like why'd you keep signing on to it, and he would like actively shit on the movies about how terrible they were, but he was still doing
He
them.
eventually apologized because a lot of people worked really hard on that
Exactly.
movie, and they took the movie for the same reason he did.
Right.
So he did apologize for going out of line because his reason for taking those movies in the first place was kind of perfect. I can't pay my house with bullshit hipster indie cred.
Right.
So, it's like he took a job. And yeah, and then he did apologize because he did absolutely tear those movies apart. But he also was like, no, they were bad, but
People worked hard.
But yeah, I took that, like, I also,
Which is why I wish there was a neutral zone of a respect for the people that are working hard on it, but also voicing your displeasure with it. Because like you said, there's a way to voice your displeasure with a segment without, like, poor Alexa Bliss.
yeah,
During that Bailey, This Is Your Life segment, she's trying.
she did what she could.
Right. She had what she. It's like Justin Smart when he wrestled Jason Bond. I work with what they give me, and he you only do so much. And if the crowd is like actively shitting on you for what you were told to do, I mean, man, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. That's all I'm saying. Let's move on. We're talking about Ivelisse. Ivelisse is seemingly trapped in a Lucha Underground contract.
Yeah, this is real shitty. Apparently, and Joey Ryan and other wrestlers have since, and people from Lucha Underground have since come to her like defense and like said that they fully support her. Apparently, to get people to sign for season 4 of Lucha Underground, they told them that if you're unhappy with the direction, you can ask for your release at any point and you will be granted it. And now that. And some people did, but then she even, like, because she went on this kind of, not a Twitter rant, but she made this very compelling post about, like, I believed in the company, and now I'm being punished for it. There's no sight, like, there is no future of Lucha Underground Season 5, but she can't go other places to wrestle because of this contract that she is seemingly locked in because they will not grant her release.
Wow.
And that is super shitty.
That truly is super shitty. You said even Lucha Underground supported her, or did I hear that wrong?
No, other wrestlers from Lucha Underground.
Okay.
No, Lucha Underground which is the AAA. Is it AAA or CMLL that runs Lucha Underground? I think it's AAA.
AAA, yeah.
And we've talked about Lucha Underground contract stuff before because it's kind of
Ricochet.
Yep.
Yeah. That's really sad because it's such a cool idea, but I guess with TV tapings also comes the danger of, okay, here's how many tapings you have. We need you to appear on this. You don't want them to appear for someone else. With regular wrestling, it's not as hard because it doesn't stop.
Well, and the thing with Lucha Underground is a lot of the people who appear on Lucha Underground are doing something separate than what they're doing on the indies.
Yeah, because it's the whole thing like with Ricochet.
Ricochet was Prince Puma.
He was under a hood.
He was in a mask.
Yeah.
He was wrestling in as a mask. Kairi Sane and Io Shirai, they had a kind of a feud with Pentagon Jr., but they were not their indie selves. They were I don't remember.
Wait, they were in Lucha Underground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But I can't think
Black
of
Lotus or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Something like that. Daughters of the Black Lotus or sisters, something like that. You had Big Rick was a whole totally separate character.
Yeah. And
Look at Jeff Cobb. Just like, so you have all
Thunder
these,
Rosa, Cobra Moon.
yeah, so you have all of these examples of like, yeah, you can go wrestle elsewhere, but you're just not, using that character. Which, granted, you have Johnny Mundo, who's essentially just a different name for wherever else he goes.
Yeah.
You have Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, which even towards the end of like season 3, Phoenix kind of had a weird character arc there. But
Yeah.
I mean, you have so many, like, there's all these talented people who should be able to go other places because they're not portraying the same character.
Right.
And now, especially now that there is no guarantee even that season 5 is going to happen, how can you keep her locked to this commitment that you cannot even uphold?
And they're not paying her, right?
That I don't know enough. I can't
'Cause-
imagine. I feel like they paid her, like, not up front, but like, this is how much you're making over this amount of time.
Right, but now that there's no season 5, there's all this time that she can't work.
Yeah.
The thought of of not paying people to work or not paying people, but also not letting them get other jobs because of the situation they're in is stupid. And anyone that thinks it's not stupid, this is a political thing. I'm going to back off of it now. Anyway. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Ivelisse because she was in WWE, wasn't she?
She was in that season of Tough Enough with Austin.
But she didn't sign with them. Instead, she chose to go somewhere else?
She was a part of NXT for a minute. Or Florida Championship.
It was still Ivelisse, right?
No. She was something else.
I don't remember what her name was then.
I'll check.
Ivelisse is my favorite name because that's also the name of the world from Final Fantasy Tactics.
She was in a trios and held the trios championship with, I can't remember the third partner, and it bums me out because he was super cool. But Son of Havoc, a.k.a. Matt Cross.
Well, why do you bring up Matt Cross?
Because he's going to be at CCW. I'm actually genuinely super stoked about that.
So am I.
I'm not familiar with Matt Cross, but everything I've seen today looks really good.
He is so ignorantly talented.
Oh, no, she was on NXT, Sophia Cortez.
Do you not remember that?
Yeah, this was my match versus Natalia. Yeah, that was it.
Well, we'll keep you updated on this, and that is a shitty situation to be in.
I'm genuinely
shame on Robert Rodriguez.
Or AAA or whoever is at
Whoever's
fault
in
here.
charge,
I will say that there is I would like to think that her kind of shining this light and bringing attention to it will actually get something done so they can avoid the bad publicity. But at the same time, like, this type of dispute has happened in the past. And as much as I hate to say it, I don't mean this disrespectfully. Like, I don't know if she is a big enough name to really kind of rock the boat in a way that they will do the right thing.
Right.
You just got to rock the wave harder then.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, and it helps having, like, her coworkers and, peers back her up and, like, show their solidarity.
We got a couple things here real quick. Tino Sabatelli maybe moved to announcer. Did I say that name right?
Yeah. Tino Sabatelli. He's on NXT.
I'm so sorry.
Him and Riddick Moss.
Everyone got quiet when I said it, so I boned it.
It sounded like a skateboard went by, but I couldn't tell if it was like maybe someone fucking with the door. No, he was in a tag team with Riddick Moss. He suffered a number of injuries and is now apparently not recovering like they were hoping, and they are kind of he's in a very Jason Jordan type scenario now where they're trying to, it looks like they're looking to move him to a separate role, kind of like what happened to Corey Graves.
Yeah, I'm
not that familiar with him.
I want to say he was the attractive one in that team, and I'm not. That was like, I think that was his gimmick. Mm-hmm. Is that he was very pretty?
He was just, which I mean, because I know he's like 6 foot something, just statuesque, cut from marble.
Yeah, he definitely was.
So that's unfortunate, but again, this is one of those times where it's like, as opposed to, back in the day where they would have, oh, you're dead weight now, we're cutting you loose. Good luck.
Yeah.
Now they're actively trying to find something for him to do so he can stay within the organization.
Which is awesome. Like, I love that they do that.
Yeah.
What was the name of the guy in TNA that DJZ accidentally hurt really bad? And
Jesse Swartzen?
Yeah. And they kept him on for a little bit, then they let him go. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those situations.
Was it Jesse Swartzen?
I don't
Swartzen
remember.
Or Goddard? It wasn't Goddard.
No, Goddard was his partner.
Pretty sure Swartzen. I'm pretty sure you're right. But they kept him on for a while, then they let him go because it's like, okay, but you can't.
So Googling Jesse Sorensen, the first thing that comes up is injury.
Or draws. I don't know how long they had draws on
They kept him for a while.
I was going to say, but they in their credit, they took care of him.
Right. Which I don't know if they still are. I know he's not on WWE.com anymore, but
I mean, I'm Googling that right now.
To be fair, that was like, it wasn't even on WWE's. It wasn't their fault.
It was a freak accident. Yeah. I mean, the same thing with him, but yeah, they kind of.
But they took care of him better. It felt like. NXT UK TakeOver was over the weekend. Really quick, let's just give some thoughts about that. Toni Storm won the women's title. Congratulations to her. Mm-hmm. That's great, especially coming back from the awful thing that's happened to her in the past couple weeks.
Very, very nice to see that she, seemingly is not receiving any sort of punishment for being a victim.
Yeah.
Thank Christ.
But like WWE also did that with Paige. Like they didn't.
They
didn't punish her for that.
But there's a difference between, again, like I don't mean this disrespectfully, but like if Paige versus Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Like there's there's not the same weight there of importance.
Right.
So, but yeah, no. I only saw a chunk of that match. I've only seen bits and pieces of the show. I haven't had a chance to go through and watch everything. This is going to be kind of a Dalton heavy segment, but
those are the best segments.
It was so good. All of it.
I know the tag team match was absolutely incredible.
Oh, it was dog shit crazy. Loved it.
Dog shit.
Tony Storm
crazy.
won the NXT UK Women's Championship, which was great. The one thing that I did see, just because like I went out of my way to watch it because they talked about it on Wrestling Observer, but I guess Devlin was supposed to have a different opponent.
Yeah, it was Buzzsaw Kiwi. I can't think of his actual name.
So what was
And
the
I'm
reason?
Googling that.
What was the reason that he? Was there a reason that he had to pull, or was this just kind of like a last minute change because?
I couldn't tell you if he had a
Okay.
legitimate injury, but they did a segment that day of like, oh, he attacked him on his, or Devlin
Okay.
attacked him on his way to the thing, and then, but well, no, I'm assuming it was just because then Buzzsaw comes out and during Devlin's entrance attacks him, and then Devlin gets the upper hand on him, and then enter Irish Daddy, which we're gonna be talking about him again.
So did you say his name is Buzzsaw Kiwi?
Yeah,
This is gonna be stupid. Did you mean Kiwi Buzzsaw?
yeah.
Okay, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but
No,
like
no,
I
I've-
looked up Buzzsaw Kiwi, and like all I get is Kiwi Buzzsaw, and I want to make sure we're talking about the same person.
What's his name?
Travis Banks.
There it is.
Okay.
I could not think of it, but yeah, no. And then Finn Balor comes out, and then they have a stupid awesome match.
And one of the
Didn't
things
Finn Balor train him?
yes, and that was a big thing that like they were
playing up on
playing up the
commentary.
entire time. It was so good.
One of the things that they mentioned is like this felt like a different Finn Balor. Like this wasn't Guy Smiley, just this is Prince Devitt.
Yeah.
This is the main event. This is the person that you want to see go after the Universal Championship. This is this person who could be the face of a company.
It was so good. The no DQ match between Mastiff and Ennis was awesome. That was just two big guys doing big guy things.
House fight.
Yeah, it was so good. The championship match went 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was Joe Coffey and Pete Dunne tore the house down.
Pete Dunne now a champion for over 600 days.
Yeah, but they're making the belt like actually be defended. So like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
so those first 300 days.
but yeah, no, that match was stupid. And then
The big reveal after Pete Dunne wins,
Walter.
Walter appears, which this kind of goes back to the like. I am not a huge fan of Walter's style. I don't like the fact that his gimmick is pretty much I legitimately try to hit you as hard as I can.
I don't know anything about Walter other than his name, and I hate his name. Like
you want to see a picture of him?
I've seen him.
Oh yeah,
I've
he's
seen him.
like, and again, like he is a talented wrestler. Like it's not like that's the only thing he does. And again, like that's just my opinion. I don't mean this like to be sound shitty or anything. It's just the whole like the image of like the chest caving in of someone because that's what he picks a safe quote unquote spot on the body.
Yeah.
To legitimate because it's you can't. It's hard to hurt anything up here. Other than like your sternum's kind of there and possibly ribs, depending on where you go. But like he's hitting mostly like pec. He's
hitting muscle.
striking muscle.
Right.
But like when you see the after effect of some of the matches he has, where people are just like turning green because the purple is so intense of the bruise, it's just like that's not what I like wrestling to be.
Me neither. In fact, to his credit, he proved me wrong. When Kevin Owens entered WWE, I don't know if you guys remember, I was very critical because I saw his indie stuff and I'm like, he's going to hurt somebody. And he never hurt anybody before, but it's like, oh, that's so different. That's so like, that looks like it's going to hurt. And he hasn't. So maybe, I haven't seen Walter yet. Maybe I'd be wrong about him too, but that sounds unappealing to me.
No, Walter very much wrestles a more violent style.
Strong.
Like,
he is a very strong style.
Yeah,
person.
it's a very strong style, and that's like the Nakamura thing of like Nakamura could probably mess somebody up. Same with Asuka, but like Owens just did flashy moves.
The only other thing from NXT UK that I want to mention is we saw Kaylee Ray and Jazzy Gabbert.
Oh yeah,
in the crowd.
Grizzled Young Veterans are the tag team champs, by the way.
In NXT UK.
Yeah, they beat.
I just looked up Walter Chest.
Yeah, they beat Mustache Mountain.
And there's a picture of PCO when he fought Walter.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's the one. That's which
Yup.
again, it's
He looks like a corpse.
yeah. You're doing it to PCO, so he probably didn't feel it.
He was probably so nice about it too. He's such a polite man.
Yeah, but really great show. Go out of your, if you like wrestling, go out of your way, watch it.
It was so much fun. Sadie and I watched it, and she was just like, "It's a different show, and it's so good." And I was like, "Yeah, no, they're letting them wrestle the way that they
Right.
want
Did you-
to wrestle."
It's not WWE
Did you
presents
hear?
UK. It's just
Did you hear the crowd singing "Are you watching, Vince?"
Yeah,
And
because
him,
UK
and him actually
shows are dicks.
and him actually tweeting like, "Yes, I'm watching," and it's awesome. It's like that's kind of funny. Yeah, NXT UK. still looking at pictures? Yeah. I'm trying to buy you time.
I got to stop. No, I got to stop. Because Walter, all right, so looking at Walter, he doesn't look that impressive. He looks boring. I'm sure he's not boring.
No.
I'm sure his wrestling style is not boring. Mm-hmm. But if you showed me a picture of that guy and you said, hey, let's go watch wrestling tonight, this is guy Walter I want you to see. I'll go, oh, what's his stage name? Walter.
I almost went to Chicago to see him a couple months back. Me and Big Lee were going to go.
What promotion? I'm just kind of curious.
Oh, God, was it Evolve? Might have been Evolve.
Oh, Uplay just opened up.
That would surprise me.
No reason for that. All right. Lastly, Lashley, we're going to talk about Raw and Smackdown. To give quick thoughts real quick and the big events that happened on there. On Raw, Baron Corbin still wrestles in a regular outfit.
Your boy was there? I went to Raw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you said my boy, I'm like, no, Hogan was on like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Jason, right?
Yeah.
Went to Raw. And how was it? Being there live, how was it?
It was really good. I've never been to a wrestling show in Memphis ever. And that's a crowd. Because like I've been
was
to
Sarge there? Any of the Tennessee guys?
Not that I'm aware of. Oh, Bradley was there because Bradley was live streaming Raw, and we were like, "You can't do that." I even put that in the video. I was like, "You cannot do that."
The most Bradley thing I've heard this week.
Yeah, because it's one of those like you
He must be out of his rabbit ass mind.
Yeah, because like whenever you enter for a taping, you see like just pieces of papers everywhere saying no live recording.
You can't.
shit.
Yeah,
you cannot record this. But it was really good, and it will help that this has probably been one of the better Raws they've done in the last couple months. Mm-hmm. Like it was from top to bottom, minus one segment was pretty solid. 2 segments was pretty solid because EC3 was there, but not really.
Boy,
Yeah, a lot of that stuff sounded so confusing.
And then
it's so
Jesus, and then the Alexa Bliss thing. But
I want to talk about that. But before we get to that,
I am now officially 3 for 3 for going to SmackDown and Raw tapings and championships change hands. So that's pretty cool. Lashley won the IC belt. I'm not upset with that at all. I got to see Finn Balor like 30 times. It was the best time in the world.
Then Lashley winning the IC belt is just weird, just because it's like, okay, clearly they're moving Seth Rollins because like that's the rumors. It's going to be Rollins versus Lesnar at Mania. But like, what does that do with Ambrose?
I don't know.
Because
Andre Battle Royal.
if he's not feuding with Rollins and now he doesn't have the IC belt, like
Feud with Lashley.
I guess I don't know.
Turn Lashley feel.
So can I tell you my fantasy that
No.
I know it's very much not realistic?
Can I tell you my fantasy about that Lashley afterwards?
No. But so they're clearing up Ambrose because everything went like better than medically possible.
And Roman's coming
and
back.
Roman Reigns returns at the Rumble.
Pictures of him surfaced today.
Yeah, and he looks great.
Yeah, he looks fine.
Like,
I mean, he looks as fine as you can look with that. Let me rephrase that. That
Right,
sounded
yeah.
really
Is he
insensitive.
going through like chemo or anything?
We don't see, and that's the thing. Is like no one knows like what the treatments are. Like you have to assume that chemo's a factor, but like someone,
He saw his hair, I'm assuming.
like someone in Hawaii took a picture and
I think with leukemia, it's a lot more bone marrow transplants than chemo.
I know very little about it.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, so I don't know well enough to like go. But you have to assume that whatever the treatment is, it's grueling.
Oh, it has to suck.
But that said, like, and not even going off the pic, because like someone was like, "Oh, I'm at the same hotel in Hawaii as Roman Reigns," and they took a picture, and yeah, he looks great, which is wonderful. You love to hear that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is someone on Reddit pointed out like this would be the first time a crowd would be happy to see Roman Reigns at a Royal Rumble. And it's like, oh yeah, you're not
he
wrong.
would get will be the most monstrous pop for about.
Yeah.
No, I think the full match.
No, it would.
They'll
It
pull
would
on.
like people
For
would
a
be
good year.
Yeah.
until like Ambrose did something dastardly and like that was the Mania match.
Right.
Like that's I would love to see that.
Yeah.
But especially like if he is okay and like
Especially if it means that it's gone.
because now that
He
Ambrose
won.
has made those
Yeah.
pot shots and stuff like that.
Right.
But
And then it
so-
turns out he never had it. This is all a storyline.
Oh, see, don't.
Long gone.
Don't.
Let me
Don't.
talk for a second about what I thought was the most distasteful thing I've seen on Raw in a long time. And I know it was a minor thing, and that's probably why it upsets me the most. So there's a stagehand that's bringing Alexa Bliss her drink. He knocks on the door. He opens it up, and she's standing there back to the camera, so you don't see anything. But she's topless, and she's just holding, her breasts, basically, so you can't see anything. And then they fade away, and it's never really mentioned, again.
Yeah,
There's
it was
no big thing.
it was pointless.
It was pointless.
It
It was just there to titilize the boys at home who are going to go jack off to Alexa Bliss later. And, I just think that's so, in this era of, no, we take women's wrestling seriously, what a throwback
They're
to the
legitimate
days where Trish
athletes.
Stratus crawled around on all fours and barked like a dog for Vince McMahon. You know?
And-
I hated it.
And that's the thing too, is it was pointless. They didn't call
didn't play
back
up
to
on
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was no follow up, which thankfully, I guess, because fuck that.
What would you follow it up with?
Yeah,
I could see in the 90s, it would have been if she was feuding with who's she feuding with? Well, nobody really right now because she's on the shelf. But someone would have taken the coffee from the guy, snuck in, stole her top, and then she would have came down to the ring holding her breast like, "Oh, he took my top," not realizing you had other fucking clothes in the closet.
Yeah,
because that's what they did.
Oh, don't worry,
then.
that's not that wouldn't even be the dumbest thing we saw in wrestling this week. We're gonna get to that on SmackDown.
But I want to point out what a tasteless and stupid segment that was. Allie, you agree with me on that?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So that was just
some peace between us.
But the good segment that Alexa Bliss was involved in is we got to see the actual women's tag team championships.
They are pretty.
They're gorgeous.
I love the look. I love how unique they look. I'm not a huge fan of the white strap just because the IC belt has that white strap, and then the two women's championships on Raw and SmackDown both have white straps. So I think that would have kind of set it apart if it didn't.
Right.
Not like you don't have to clearly don't go pink, purple, whatever like Divas Championship.
The Divas title, yeah.
But
AKA Jeff Hardy's title in TNA.
Yeah.
Oh.
The face plates and look awesome.
It looks like I still can't believe when they introduce these other titles that look so good that they still use that stupid ass W belt. I hate that belt. Mm-hmm. I hate that belt because, and again, I grew up in the 80s. That was my wrestling. If Axe was listening, he'd agree with me.
The big gold belt.
The big gold belt, the intricate designs and stuff. Like, to me, that just screamed prestigious and class. And when I see that WWE belt with just the W, it's so minimalistic, but in a really gaudy way.
Oh, I love those belts. I have grown more and more.
And I'm not going to fault you for
belts.
it. I don't.
It's an aesthetic thing. There's no right or wrong.
Thing, yeah.
Whenever they took the champion off of the bottom of it, looks so much better. Like the original one that Rock came out with when they still had the chicken scratch logo.
Yeah.
That belt was ugly.
That was terrible.
Yeah. But the way they look now, perfectly fine.
But it also is such a drastic contrast to the belts that they have for everyone else. Like the women's titles, even the tag titles are way more intricate than the main titles. They're just W's. And I get why they do it, but it's not for me. But whatever, it's not a huge deal. But I do love the women's titles. Allie, have you seen the women's titles?
Yeah, I saw a picture.
What do you think?
I like them.
They're gorgeous, absolutely beautiful.
What I'm also super excited about is how they're going to crown the first women's tag team champions.
Lita and Trish,
possibly. But at Elimination Chamber, six teams in the Elimination Chamber, and the winner of that Elimination Chamber match wins the.
So they're gonna have just two women in the pod, the tag team in the pod together.
Yeah. It's. I mean, that's what they did with they did the first ever tag team Elimination Chamber 2 years ago, because it was New Day, Lucha Dragons.
I'm assuming Tornado Rules, right?
No, actually, it might have been.
No, it is. Yeah, it's Tornado Rules, and it's if one person is eliminated, both teams are out. Because
3 years ago.
Because I distinctly remember one of the members of the Ascension breaking up a pin that would have eliminated one of their opponents. It was like the New Day was pinning the Usos and the Ascension broke it up. What?
Good move.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll avoid some of that.
Move.
So
I like them better as the what was their name in Southpaw?
Surfer Dudes with Attitudes.
Mm-hmm. Or there was the Top Guns.
Oh yeah, then it was Top Guns. Yeah,
both better gimmicks.
So 3 teams from each show. I'm thinking it's Bayley, Sasha.
Has to be
some combination of the Riot Squad.
Has to be,
and then Natalia and Ember Moon.
That's what I would think.
And then SmackDown. Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose.
Well, hold on.
Potentially,
you're forgetting Nia Jackson, Tamina.
Yeah, that could be.
That could be a legitimate team.
That could be there too. Yeah. Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, the Iconics, and then Naomi and Carmella. I'm also kind of half thinking maybe there might be a NXT call up, they might bring up someone to pair with Kairi Sane and Io Shirai.
No. My heart can't handle that. You put
or
them
even
against
just
Sasha and Bayley. I don't know who to cheer.
Nikki Cross finds a partner, something like that.
Maybe Sanity.
I mean, put them in the match. I'd watch it. AJ Styles giving Asuka the side eye on SmackDown this week. That's your Mania main event right there.
Oh, I want Becky versus AJ though.
Becky versus anybody. But yeah, I don't. So it'll be interesting to see once those teams are named, and I think that match will be really good.
I do too.
Also, I wanted to touch the 2 other things that I wanted to touch on is I hate how they're doing these NXT call-ups. I hate it. They're just randomly backstage sometimes. You put EC3, you want EC3 to feel like a big deal. You don't put them with the main event crew. Outside of the people who are like, oh, I want a shot. I want a shot at the universe. Strowman is no longer facing Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, but I want a shot. No way. Put me in line with No Way Jose and Kurt Hawkins and EC3. But then whenever you actually have the in-ring segment where people are demanding a shot, where were they?
Yeah.
Did they not want it that bad, I guess? But if you don't make these NXT call-ups feel like a big deal by just randomly scattering them backstage.
Yeah, especially
Granted, Nikki Cross had a match on Raw, so that's
what about the dude from Heavy? Was it Heavy Machinery?
Yeah, Otis
But it was
Dozovich just shows up and barks at Alexa on stage for a minute. Yeah, what?
Duh.
Why? And then on SmackDown,
He
like,
would have been the one to steal her top.
at least on SmackDown, they did the thing with the protein shake where they used the New Day's pancakes and like the raw eggs, and then Becky took a swig.
That's where she drinks
That
the
was
milkshake.
the I drink your milkshake
Yeah.
reference she made.
You know
Yeah.
what that's a reference to, Dalton?
There will be blood. Too much dead air. But yeah, and then like
There will
EC3's
be
then
blood.
just posing in the background while Samoa Joe's walking into the ring. Like, who does that benefit?
Wait, who was posing in the background?
EC3. But
So
it
he
was
was
on
on
SmackDown.
both shows?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because they haven't announced who's on which show yet.
Nothing says I'm important like a background player.
Yeah.
Backgrounds are fun for everybody. They're a main event. Everyone can be a
And then the other thing we mentioned earlier, Strowman destroyed Vince McMahon's limo, was stripped of his. So he made Vince mad, so Vince took away his championship
That
match.
cracked me up so bad. Just because, like,
Him trying to put the door back on.
yeah, because it was like commercial break comes back on, just and then the door
Just
falls
falls
off.
off.
Oh, and then he picked the limo up and flipped it.
I think it's more so the whole like, okay, well, we're moving away from, typical authority figures. Oh, Vince is mad at you, so now you're losing an opportunity. That's a slippery slope.
Do you
but-
feel like we're sorry, give us another chance has played out at all? Like, do you think they're
little
actively
bit, yeah.
trying and they're just not doing a good job at all
With
of it?
certain things, because they are doing much better things in other ways.
Yeah.
Like now Finn Balor is going to get a Universal Championship match. That's something people have been clamoring for years.
And I hope he wins.
I
Big
don't think-
big rumor says he wins.
I genuinely don't think he's going to win. Like I would love if he did, and it ended up being like Seth Rollins versus Balor at Mania.
yeah.
That would be
But
nuts.
Lesnar wins the Rumble. Lesnar cashes in at Mania, and we have a reversal of Lesnar versus Reigns.
Heist of the century.
Yeah.
Except without Money in the Bank in play. Yeah, I don't know. I like the whole like you didn't believe in me. Like it's no secret Vince doesn't believe in me. That's kind of cool. Cena gave him the ringing endorsement. Said okay, I believe in you now. Like it was cool moments.
Yeah, but man,
it's
that,
just
that
thing where it's
Cena
like
thing was such a I didn't like it.
I could see how I could see
was
that,
hammy,
but I
you know?
I dug it for what it was. It's just the thing of like, okay, so is he going to break out the demon? Is Lesnar going to be the one to beat the demon finally?
God, yeah.
I kind of think.
yeah.
Also, even though it's only been like 7, Balor has never lost a one-on-one pay-per-view match. So like, okay, well that could be another thing. Which, granted, I also kind of think that Strowman is going to. It's going to be a
Fuck finish.
yeah, it's going to be a screwed up finish, and it's going to be Strowman that just goes out and lays them both out.
I saw a tweet.
I've lost to him 4 times already, but Lesnar's afraid of me.
Yeah.
Remember when Lesnar hit that German suplex on Strowman and he just rolled through?
And just stood up. Yeah.
Boy, that was I missed that.
Do you remember when he hit Strowman with one F5 and Strowman laid out for 2 years? He's still laid out somewhere. I saw it was the end of Botchamania. I'm pretty sure it was the Mortal Kombat, which will segue into our final segment. It was the Mortal Kombat clip from I forget which one. Armageddon is the one where they didn't have finishers. You had the combo.
Yeah,
finishers.
you had the build your own, create your own finisher.
So like
create your own fatality.
It's like Sub-Zero and he's like just beating the shit out of this guy. He rips his heart out. He cuts his head off. He hits all of them. And then the guy falls down and says ultimate fatality. And then a digitized Strowman runs out. I was like, I'm not finished with you. And so I was like beating the corpse. That's
pretty good.
Pretty much.
Hey,
Oh, go ahead.
Hurricane Helms brag. This was a tweet, and it's just because it ends with the EC3 making the greatest joke of all time. Said, "Who brags about buying McDonald's? Be real. That White House spread looked worse than TNA catering." To which Brian Hebner tweeted at him, "Who the hell bitches about free food? Wow, what does this world come to? By the way, you invite me somewhere and you give me free food. My fattest is gonna eat." EC3 said, "I don't like politics on social media, but no spread is worse than TNA catering." just for EC3 to come in and just be like, "No, you're wrong, sir," because TNA catering was shit.
And then SmackDown, Rey Mysterio versus Andrade, because apparently they've gotten rid of the rest of his name too.
Which takes away his part of his thing.
Oh, I hate it. Andrade is such a nothing name. Andrade Almas. Andrade Almas is good.
But Almas would have been better than Andrade.
You can even drop CN and just Andrade CN Almas.
But think in the
perfect.
future, Andrade versus Walter.
I would watch that match though. But they had a phenomenal match. Like, people were just praising it left and right, which is great. We got more of those call-up appearances that were nothing. This one had, I keep wanting to say Mandy Rose, and that's definitely not it. Who is she's
Selena Vega?
No,
Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans, thank you.
Oh.
She was watching the women's match on the monitor, so at least, it's showing something. But
Right.
the thing I wanted to talk about on SmackDown
Is this the
most
dumbest segment you were talking about?
This is the most
Oh,
intelligence
yeah, I'm there.
insulting bullshit
I don't
I've
think I
seen
know
in
this
a
at all.
very long time.
I do.
So at some point in the night, Mandy Rose gives Jimmy Uso a note and a hotel key and says to come find her, to go to her hotel room. Jimmy Uso, who has been nothing but faithful the entire time and has always had Naomi's back, is with Jay, and Jay's like, what are you going to do? I don't know, man. Like, that's stupid. And okay, yeah, it sets up the whole he's going to play along just so Naomi can then attack.
Beat that ass.
Can then attack her. So then later in the night, it cuts to the hotel, and Jimmy goes into the hotel room where Mandy Rose is wearing a robe that she takes off and is now wearing more clothes in lingerie than what she wrestles in
Yeah.
to be sexy. He talks and blah, blah, blah. But then someone runs into the room, snaps a couple photographs, and then runs out to frame. And then she reveals her master plan was never to seduce Jimmy. It was just to make Naomi self-conscious and make her hate herself because she hates Naomi. So her plan was on live television with a full camera crew
That's going to be put on YouTube later.
to have a paparazzi photo taken of him in the hotel room with her
Bitch is dumb.
Okay,
on live television.
all right. To be fair, hold on. Let me back it up. Did at any point was it you say Jimmy or Jay? I forget.
Jimmy.
Did Jimmy decline her invitations? At any point, when Jimmy was in the hotel room, did he say we can't do this?
She eventually was like, I never wanted you, blah, blah, blah. I've only been after your wife. Oh, my wife? And then he walks out, and then Naomi comes in and beats her ass. And, oh, my God.
So I don't know how I'm gonna. I'm trying to figure this out in my head. I'm literally trying to go. Okay, what were they thinking? Were they maybe thinking, all right, if he never said we can't do this, and he came to the hotel room, then she, even though it was her plan, she could go. You came here. This is enough to make her go. Oh, what did he go there for? But he brought her to fight her. No, fuck. Well, her thing.
And, like, this is the whole, again.
I'm trying.
They snapped a paparazzi photo
on live TV
in front of a camera crew. Like, is this this is the type of bullshit that I hate, where it's like, oh, no, the cameras aren't actually there.
Like, the camera guys doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's always been the rule in WWE. They will give out their master plans.
But, like, what is
on camera?
What was supposed to be broadcast right then?
Also, I mean, if I'm getting more insulted thinking also about, so they left their job to go have sex at a hotel room on the clock on live television.
Hell yeah.
This is such 90s writing bullshit in WWE when they would do those stupid segments in hotels and in bars, and it was mind-boggling how bad it is.
This had to have been the same writer that did the Alexa Bliss segment.
Oh yeah.
Like, this
was
was
titillation.
This was the dumbest fucking thing.
You've got big tits. Do you want to be my girlfriend?
Like,
Yeah.
Straight out of that.
Alexa Bliss, Mandy Rose is now the dumbest person on the roster.
And I've read that they are trying to basically make Mandy Rose what they were trying to make Ava Marie. She's the Scarlett Bordeaux of WWE.
She's drop dead gorgeous, but also a wrestler.
The femme fatale, deadly, gorgeous, uses sex as a weapon type thing. There is a way you can use sex as a weapon, but not that. Like, especially because he brought his wife to kick her ass.
Right, so he knew. Like, it was all said.
It reminds me of...
Moving on.
Remember Rusev? When...
oh, yeah, and the whole, like, the Lana cheating on him.
Yeah, let's wait till next week.
Oh, my God. At least they dropped that like a wet fart.
Wrestling is stupid. Wrestling is stupid.
I hate wrestling.
Sometimes I
You know what I love, though?
What's that?
I love Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
They're bringing Mortal Kombat back.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
Tomorrow is I'm trying to do the math. I can't do the math in my head. We are less than 24 hours. We're like 14 hours away from. No, that's not true at all.
What time is it? What time does it start?
It's 11 Pacific, so it's 1 Central.
Yep.
So,
all right, so we're like 13 hours away.
Yeah, so we're close. They're doing a live stream event. I love these. Ed Boon's going to be there for this one. They're doing a gameplay reveal. They're doing a partial roster reveal. They're showing there's going to be actual like exhibition matches between pro players. I'm super excited. Why are we talking about this on PWU and not Nerd Up?
What?
Because don't worry, we're going to talk about it on Nerd Up because it'll be after the the fact, and I will gush about it until Jesse tries to make me shut up, but he won't be able to. But some of the people that have been invited to this VIP event, I'm assuming mine got lost in the mail. Have they seen our numbers?
I'm pretty sure Mardi Gras stole it.
I don't. It is NetherRealm Studios.
I'm almost positive.
Oh
almost
my.
positive.
Now I take back my nice message. But some of the people who are going, Kofi Kingston got an invite. Zelina Vega got an invite, which makes me so happy because like seeing her be legitimately like such a huge fan of Mortal Kombat on Up Up Down
She's
Down.
a big nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
love the cosplay picture she put out with Andrade.
Yeah.
Andrade.
She has and it's one of those things where it's Up Up Down Down made me like I was always a fan of hers, but she's become like one of my favorite people on the roster. Because it's just like, man,
That's how I felt about Liv Morgan.
I love seeing those extra sides with like, you know, past the characters. Like, I enjoy you as a performer, but it's like, oh, but the person behind the performer is also super cool.
Right.
Like, yay. So she's going to be there. Cody is going to be there as well. So that'll be cool.
Ooh. Trouble brewing.
Trouble. Going to try to sneak the New Day to the AEW. Like apparently half of the roster's been rumored to have given their releases.
Apparently,
or asked for the release.
Mike and Maria also asked for their release. That happened an hour ago.
Like legitimately, or is this confirmed?
It's it's definitely not confirmed.
Okay.
But there's pretty much any mid Carter is about between now and when they announce their full roster.
They all see a payday.
Literally everyone. Well, not even that, but you're going to get the online the dirt
like,
sheets saying like, oh, this person is unhappy. They asked for their release, and whether or not it happened is pure speculation.
So I need to point this out to you real quick. On 411 Mania headline, Mandy Rose hotel segment draws heavy YouTube traffic.
Yeah, because she's hot.
God damn you!
And I hope it's
people.
one of those like most downvoted like videos since the YouTube Rewind because it is insulting that like, Mortal Kombat though. Shao Kahn is a pre-order bonus. The cover art looks sick. I'm gonna pre-order it as soon as possible. I'm gonna wait to see what editions are out. Did pre-order Anthem today. Get that steelbook. Anthem looks real good.
Kingdom Hearts coming out in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that don't let you play as Dr. Doom. And one of the javelins legit makes it look like Dr. Doom.
Oh.
Are you just looking at pictures of Mandy Rose?
No, it's also apparently the Bliss segment from Raw is also the most, like this week, those are the two most watched segments on YouTube by far. And it says the segments are reportedly an attempt from WWE to reinsert sexuality into their shows in a similar fashion to the Attitude Era.
No, please.
Hard pass.
God.
I can't believe this is what we're
Get
actually
the
doing.
F out.
Yeah.
Because there is room for sexuality,
Yeah.
but
In a
not
clever
this way. Yeah,
Right.
there are way better ways.
Like I get
to do
you're appealing to teenagers, and teenagers don't care about story. They just want to see the hot girls be hot.
Right.
But like, my God, maybe we're just jaded. We're
Man,
too
if
old
they,
at this
I
point.
don't know what I'm gonna do if they bring back a bra and panties match or something like that.
The
'Cause,
first
like,
bra and panties match they do, I'm not done because we have to. It's our job.
because they have this whole.
That's more of a hobby.
They have this like they did a thing where they asked they asked the current wrestlers about it, and they're like, no, like Sasha and Bailey and Charlotte and all of them are just like, no, that's like that's a hard out.
Right.
Like that's insulting.
Even Mandy Rose, I'm sure if they asked her, would you like to do a bra and panties match? Would go, no.
I mean, see, I don't, but at least that
But
plays
it's
into,
her right.
See, well, and honestly, like at least it plays into her character.
Right.
It doesn't. There's no reason Bailey would ever agree to
A bra and panties
match.
match.
Mandy Rose maybe because she knows how hot she is and she wants to embarrass her opponent by also
being hotter?
Being hot, yeah.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Wrestling's stupid. Mortal Kombat 11.
They
April
actually,
23rd.
They actually desexed. They did. Go back to Mortal Kombat 9 and compare the models versus 11. Even Sonya Blade. No, you go back and look at 9 Sonya Blade with the thong strap up near her navel, and then go to 10 where she was way like they had jiggle factor in 9.
Yeah.
Their outfits literally tore to shreds where you saw her breasts. Then in 10 they come
Scarlet.
Yeah, and they completely Melina's alternate outfit where it was literally just
the
a couple
bandages. Yeah.
10 was so much more reserved in
That's
the term
fair.
of sexuality.
Oh, also, real quick, there is a rumor that apparently Ronda Rousey is going to be the voice of Sonya Blade because Ronda Rousey's also going to be at the event, but she's going to be the voice of Sonya Blade in 11. And to that, I say no, please.
Really?
Yes. Ronda Rousey is not a good actress, and to be a good voice actor, you have to be a good actor. And that is not right. And NetherRealm Studios and Mortal Kombat have turned the fighting game genre on its head with their amazing story modes.
Yeah. Only story
And
mode
it
I like
will,
to play.
and it can be sunk by a bad performance. And I'm not saying it's not possible that Rousey could do a bad job, but given her track record, there's no reason to inspire confidence.
I mean,
there.
she would just be playing a soldier, so
Yeah.
maybe she could.
See, but they did so much more in X.
Oh, yeah.
Without if anyone
well,
hasn't
her and
played
Johnny Cage were like.
Yes.
Any game where Johnny Cage is the star, I'm a fan of. In fact, I wish they would stop making Mortal Kombat games because they're inevitably going to kill him off again, and I'm going to be pissed.
If you wanted to cast a wrestler in a role, you put the Miz as Johnny Cage.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
that's basically what it is. Oh, also,
but do bring back Ashley Birch as Cassie Cage.
yes,
Please.
I'm curious to see what the timeline is. I'm so excited for this game. I'm probably gonna be live tweeting about it, assuming I'm. No, it's happens
From work?
It happens right around my lunch break.
Okay.
So part of it will be.
Will you do me a favor? Will you message me when the live stream starts? Because I'll forget.
Yeah.
Because I want to see it. And that's the show. That's going to do it for us tonight.
We did it.
Mortal Kombat is a really good game. But I think Donkey Kong is the greatest game of all time.
I mean, Donkey Kong is probably. Okay. You want to go there? You want to go there?
God damn it,
Let's
Asa.
go there. Donkey Kong in a
get it.
platforming genre. No, I get it. I'm moving past it because I'm taking an old reference to a movie no one's seen in 50 years, and
I
turning
watch
this
it yearly.
relevant.
I watch it yearly.
Donkey Kong is a better platforming franchise than Mario. Fight me, nerds.
Take it back.
Nope. If Mario Maker wasn't a thing, everyone would be like, it's fine.
Did you play Odyssey? Did you play Odyssey?
Yeah.
Better than...
I'm talking side-scrolling platformer.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah. He's right.
He's right. The only Mario they've done in the side-scrolling is New Super Mario Brothers, which is a fun game, but it's been the exact same game since the DS. You look at Tropical Freeze, which was like a revolution in 2D gaming. Mario needs to step up his game.
Give us more Donkey Kong games.
Or better Mario games.
More of that, yeah.
You know what? Different time. We'll talk about that. I might show
We
up
gotta
on.
we gotta
I might show up on Nerd Up.
We got
Nerd.
we got a Tuesday show in 2 weeks.
That's true. No, fuck it. I want to believe it's canceled. It's Donkey Kong versus Mario. All right, guys, we gotta get out of here. Ace, hit us with those links.
Facebook.com/Podzilla1985, please. Don't make me beg. We see the numbers. Maybe you don't make it this far, and who could blame you?
Do you ever think it's just Jesse Kimball on 50,000 accounts?
Part of me wants to
make it look better.
part of me wants to launch one of those how many fake followers can you why am I still talking?
I opened up my phone and went right to YouTube. My
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, part of me wants to hire one of those agencies to see how many of our followers are real. Or how many are we just in a click farm in Taiwan? But if you are a real person, let us know. We've gotten stuff out of you before, and to all of our new friends, we say thank you and we appreciate you. But keep it up. Let us know who you are and how you found us and why you love us, or just tell me,
Especially
or
why
just
you
tell
love
me
us.
that you love me.
And who you love the most?
Just tell me that you love me. No, don't do that. I don't want to know that. Just tell me that you love me.
It's gonna be Allie.
Reaffirm me.
It's gonna be Allie.
I know it's Allie, but that's why I'm saying no. Don't do that.
I drew an Iggly buff.
And it looks very nice.
All right, take
Congratulations.
Just get out there.
Facebook.com/Podzilla1985, Podzilla1985.com for any of our past episodes. You can sort by show. Go back, listen to the older episodes. Go back and listen to
West.
go back and listen to look how things are at now, and go back and listen to what we were talking about. And listen to our old predictions and see
Yeah.
how wildly off we were.
We were planning on reinserting sexuality like we did in the first year.
Okay, fine. I will start recording without pants on.
Again.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Took so long to stop it.
Facebook.com page. There's another one I wanted to do before that. It's gone. Patreon.com/Podzilla1985.com.
$1 make you holler.
Dollar will give you the pre-shows. The pre-shows have been a lot of fun. And
Although on a night like
for
tonight,
every show,
the pre-show puts us at almost an hour and 45 minutes.
It's a lot
that
of-
was a 15-minute pre-show.
it's a lot of extra content, but it's fun. It's us
Yeah.
there's no topic. We're
It's
just kind
us
of
not
riffing.
giving a shit.
Yeah, this is what we do to check the levels on the microphone.
Yep.
So
A lot of fun. Allie gets so cursing on there.
also, if you go to the Cape Championship Wrestling YouTube page, we put up the Austin Lane versus Marco match tonight, which is a phenomenal match.
In New Chaos tonight.
I will also say that I'm super proud of, I feel like last night, the commentary job we did, I thought that was really good. There was a lot of
agree.
legit, emotion that kind of, I feel like, came across.
I feel like you had a fear that you were going to be terrible, and over the past, you've done 3 shows without me, and they get better every week. And last night was really good. I agree.
It was really, really
yeah,
good.
so I think you guys are killing it. And on the opposite side of that, I do want to mention Dalton's in this episode, which was very, very cool.
You edited out my super screw up, which I appreciate.
We're all part of it. Yay. All right. Good night, guys. You have a good one. We'll be back tomorrow with After Dark, which, coming soon to every promotion, That's what we do now. You guys have a great one. Good night.